Hey everyone, this is graphic designer Roberto Blake, and today in my logo design video series, I'll be talking about why it's important to sketch as a logo designer. Now, many logo designers usually tend to overlook this and skip straight into the computer using Adobe Illustrator, CorelDRAW, or what have you. But I'm a big advocate of sketch first in design just in general because it does afford you some advantages. A lot of people do skip this because they feel they're lacking in traditional illustration ability and use the computer to compensate, but there are advantages to using a traditional approach with pencil and paper. And one of those advantages is it allows you to very quickly prototype your ideas, get them out of your head and see whether they're working or not at a low pain point with little time and investment. You also can go ahead and you can get some feedback from clients if you show them your sketches just to see if you have the right ideas and the right visual direction in the first place without having to go through the trouble of laboring over it in the computer first. So this can be a real time saver, and it's also a great way to explore your creativity. However, part of the reason that I talked about a lot of designers skipping this process is they don't feel they have good illustration skills to begin with as far as traditional media, so they skip straight into the computer where they can compensate. Now, you don't necessarily need traditional illustration skills in order to be a logo designer or a graphic designer in general, but it is very helpful if you do learn at least the basics. Part of the reason is, as I said, you can get ideas out quickly, you can brainstorm, you can mind map, and you can just really get a feel and understanding for what you're going to produce. That way you're not experimenting when you're going to the computer, you're just executing, and you're just building on something that you've already detailed and outlined and created. If you are a traditional illustrator, it's likely that you'll be better at logo design than most other things because you'll bring a skill set to the table that requires a lot of attention to detail, steady hands, creativity, and precision. All of these things are great for a logo designer to have, but if you are not a traditional illustrator, then building up these skills can be very helpful and beneficial to you in terms of your graphic design. The best logo designers are traditional illustrators in my opinion, and from my experience in working with others and from reviewing their portfolios, if you have a good illustration skill set, then you can produce better logos, a wider overall variety of logos, and it just helps you build things that are unique instead of generic. So if you're not a traditional illustrator but you are a logo designer, you can improve your logo designs dramatically by practicing your sketching, taking an art class in traditional drawing, and just really experimenting with creating thumbnails and just trying out different ideas before you get to the design process in the computer. To help you out, I recommend getting a grid composition notebook to sketch out your ideas for logo designs. This will help because the grids kind of put things into perspective and give you a sense of the visual balance of a piece. They'll also help you cheat in creating straight lines because of the grid, so just take advantage of that. When you want to move on to the computer, you can even take advantage of it by either scanning or photographing your sketch work and then doing some tracing or building based off of that if you want to retain some of the ideas or the visual relationships that you created with pencil and paper in the digital space. In my opinion, taking the traditional illustration route and sketching out some of your ideas will just give you more flexibility, and again, it will save you overall time in terms of how much work you're doing in the computer. You can get quick feedback, you can get quick results yourself, and just see whether something is working before you've invested a few hours or minutes into it, just by sketching it out really quickly and just seeing what it's going to look like and determining whether it was a good idea or not in the first place. That way you can follow through on what works well, and you can get rid of what doesn't already just very quickly without having to do much of anything. Well, I hope you guys learned a little bit more about the logo design process from this video. As always, like this video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Watch the other videos in my logo design series on this channel. And again, thanks for watching.